Ever since the 1930s, when Studebakers and Nash convertibles rolled down Mine Street, this iconic horse barn has greeted motorists traveling to and from Flemington. Bearing the Dvoor name for the latest family to carry on a farming legacy started 2 centuries before, the barn was one of many ringing Flemington. By the end of the 20th century, most of the farms and barns were gone. Herb Dvoor, having taken over operation of the farm from his father Jacob, an emigrant from Latvia, cherished his family's land and wished to see it preserved. In 1999, the Dvoor Farm property was deeded to the Hunterdon Land Trust. Today, the historic stone farmhouse serves as headquarters for the organization, which plays a key role in protecting the most beautiful places in the Hunterdon County area.
We believe people live in this area because it is a beautiful rural community with many recreational opportunities. And the mission of the Hunterdon Land Trust is to preserve that rural character and maintain a high quality of life. We do that primarily through preserving land and then stewarding both the natural and cultural resources on those properties. We have a strategic land preservation plan that identifies the most critical resources throughout the area that we hope to protect. And the Dvoor Farm was highlighted because it is representative of the agricultural heritage of the region, and the Walnut Brook, which is a tributary to the Neshannock River, flows through it.
With the help of many wonderful volunteers, the Hunterdon Land Trust works hard to steward the Dvoor Farm, caring for the fields, walking trails, wetlands, and the Walnut Brook. The work poses many challenges, with one of the most persistent being the constant battle against invasive plants.
A plant becomes invasive when it takes over a large area and displaces other plants. Usually they're from other continents, so they don't have any natural predators when they come here. I'm standing next to a small calorie pear. It looks kind of like a cherry tree to some people, or maybe a baby apple tree. It's in the same family as those two, and you can kind of tell the difference because of the shape of the leaves. They're more rounded and they come to a tip at the end usually, and there's also spikes on it. You'll find these commonly in the parking lots of big box stores and subdivisions upstream of here in the more developed area of this watershed. Another commonly found invasive is multiflora rose. It's got compound serrate leaves and it's got some thorns on it that are not pleasant. It takes up a lot of area, and farmers used to plant this in hedgerows to divide fields and things like that, and it's still widely planted, I believe, but it spreads throughout the woods. The reason why this and the calorie pear and autumn olive and other invasives are bad is because they displace native species that have relationships with other things like birds and amphibians and pollinators.
Hikers walking along the Dvoor Farm Trail can see firsthand the stewardship work on the property and the pollinators which help the native species thrive. The trail leads up a short rise to the Dvoor Farm wetlands, an important environmental feature of the property.
Wetlands act as carbon sinks, which means that when plants grow and then die, they decompose slower than they would normally in the woods because of the water that's laying in there. The wetlands are also supporting a lot of diversity of plants and wildlife, and it's a great spot to come watch wildlife work.
There are many trails on the property for the public to enjoy, and we've created pollinator meadows that support a variety of wildlife. We also restored a stretch of Walnut Brook and the wetlands associated with it, and we're very proud that now our colleagues tell us it is a model restoration site. I think it's easy to forget that the community has only utilized this site for a short period of time, given that The waters of Walnut Brook have been recycled for millions of years. So now it's our turn to be good stewards of the systems that safeguard this water.
We plant a lot of native trees along the brook to keep the stream cool enough for life to survive here. If the stream gets too hot, then it makes it harder for things like crayfish and trout to survive.
By converting a wagon shed into a rustic classroom, the Land Trust is offering everyone an additional way to share the wonders of the farm. The classroom provides a view of the Mine Brook and the wetlands.
We're proud to offer the Wagon Shed as a rustic classroom, and it's the first building on site dedicated to public use. Its renovation will support a variety of programming, including community gatherings, historic talks, educational nature workshops, and the winter farmers market.
Honoring the tradition of this historic farm, the Land Trust's Farmers Market is open every 2 weeks from December through early May, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and every Sunday from mid-May through mid-November, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
The idea of running a farmer's market made perfect sense to us. We felt like it wasn't enough to preserve farmland. We needed to help farmers make farming a viable livelihood here in Hunterdon County. We have up to 21, 22 vendors at the peak of our season, and they sell anything from what you would expect, every type of produce that you can think of. We also have farmers selling poultry and meats, pickled and fermented foods. We have baked goods, artisan breads, cheeses, dairy products, alpaca products. We even have yak meat that is sold there.
The Dvoor Farm is a symbol of Hunterdon County's rich agricultural heritage. It's a place where people come year-round to connect, to cherish, to explore, and to be reminded that this place we call home is beautiful and deserves to be nurtured.
From where I stand, the mighty trees reach up high for you. And from where I stand, the wild winds, they come rushing in to greet you. And from where I stand, I see a new moon over my shoulder. As I grow older,
We are committed to fulfilling our promise to make the Dvoor Farm a special place for community connection. We hope you'll join us.